So me, Jamie and Dad have met for a little drink, and really to celebrate last week Jamie beating his personal record, selling the violin for £1,000.
Whoa, 1100.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah.
1100. And also really to celebrate the channel getting to 100 subscribers. So thanks to everybody that subscribed to the channel. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
100 subscribers.
Good bit of pork pie, that Paul.
It's nice pie, that, isn't it?
Very buttery.
Don't tell my vegan wife. Congratulations on the new record, by the way.
Cheers, Paul.
Good price, that, for the violin.
Yeah, I'd have been pleased if I was the vendor,
Yeah.
but maybe the the buyer. You know, I think he was a dealer.
I think he was. I did speak to him. I think he's a dealer, so he's got a bang on sell thing.
Yeah, 1100 and then fees. He's got to obviously think there's profit in it.
Must be hard work. I don't think I could do it.
I think I can do it.
Chasing a profit, can't always get one.
And being auctioneers as well, I mean, we have to know a little bit about a lot of subjects. We always say that. So to actually go out there and turn that knowledge into cash, I think it'd be real hard. As I said, I don't think I could do it.
You've got great inside information. You see these prices every day, you guys.
We could always give it a try. Contest between gentlemen.
A little bit of a wager.
Coming on winter, it's getting colder. Harder for the
What do you-
dealers.
Sounds like he's backing after me.
Yeah, scared.
No, I'm up for it.
What we're going to do then?
Well, we need to agree on a limit. 100 quid.
Tenner.
Tenner.
50.
50 quid.
50 quid.
So we can, £50 you can buy from wherever you want. And we need a time limit on it. Let's say we'll put it in the December sale.
Alright, yeah.
Whoever gets the most profit, he's the winner. It's December, so season of goodwill. Let's give all the proceeds to charity. What do you think of that?
Good.
Yeah.
Like it. Yeah, we'll all choose our own charity.
But what about the winner though? What does he get?
He's getting his dinner boat, isn't he?
That's a good idea. Nice bit of Christmas
And you
dinner.
buy him a dinner.
Yeah. Okay. So the contest on, boys?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm up for
Okay.
it. I'm up for it.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna win. That looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to film, and I'm pretty excited about it. I hope you all stay tuned and watch the Christmas special. But now I'm back in the sale room, so it's back to business. I'm going to look at two lots today, and the first one's my pick, and it's this piece of furniture. It's a bureau. It's English from the early 20th century, so about 1900 to 1930, something like that, and it's got this japanned decoration. So covered in black lacquer with a mock oriental landscape. In itself, it's copying a 17th century piece of English furniture. At that time, we were importing works of art and furniture from the Far East. And I think we take for granted these days how amazing that must have been. These works of art coming across from the Far East and pieces of furniture which would have been so unlike anything anybody would have ever seen. I think people were concerned at the time that the very best pieces weren't being exported. And so European cabinet makers started to make their own pieces and put on this sort of influence design, what we now know as japanned or chinoiserie. So this is really a 20th century piece, copying a 17th century piece, which is taking its style influences from the Far East. Now, the furniture market today is pretty bad. I mean, antique furniture's not what it was. If you want to furnish your home with antique furniture, you couldn't pick a better time. In our own house, in fact, I think there's only the bed and the settee which is new. Everything else we've used antique furniture, and it's a good way to go. But a bureau of this sort with no decoration, so just in mahogany or walnut, you can pick up for only 20 or 40 pounds, which almost seems like a crime. But we've got 80 to 120 on this one, and it's because of that Japan decoration, and that's surely going to elevate the price. So 80 to 120, I would certainly like to see it make over 100. Now item 2 is the wish list item, and this is the feature where I look at items that have got the highest wish list count on thesaleroom.com. Now the idea behind that is going to force me to look at things that I wouldn't normally pick, so categories that are out of my interest. And that's certainly the case this week. It's these two old vintage motorbikes, and they're in this area that we here in the sale room call the pit. So it's got things like Dyson vacuum cleaners. Sometimes there's fridges in there. So it's things from house clearances that don't show the sale in the best light, but do sell. So we took them away in the pit. So there's two vintage French motorcycles. Also, if you've been to one of our sales, you know I'm terrible at pronouncing things. So I've been online to find out how you pronounce the manufacturer's name.
Motobecane.
Motobecane. So two old French bikes. The one in the foreground doesn't even have an engine. It's about 1900, 1920. The one behind's about 1950s. Now I spoke to the guy that put them in. He went all the way over to France and he found these in an old barn. So perfect story for collectors. That's exactly what they like to see. Now he said that in his opinion, someone's either going to have an intense labour of love and bring these back to working motorcycles, or what's probably most likely is somebody's going to buy them for the parts. Because if you have your own project and you want any of these bits, for example the flared mudguard or some of those tool compartments, the petrol tank even, those things will cost you an absolute fortune if you're actually going to try and find an individual thing and buy it. So why not buy an old bike and break it down for parts? I think we've got 50 to 100 on the estimate. That could be the reason for the high wish list count. Sometimes if the estimate's a bit low, we get a high wish list count. So perhaps maybe 1 to 200, but we'll see on the sale day.